this madness. I'm begging you, please pick up the call. You're causing me damage. I should've known it wasn't your fault. Don't even matter. I wasn't thinking clear, trying to take it there. Scared to lose it all. I won't stand a chance, and I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? You got me standing in the rain, hoping I don't make the same mistake. She holds, it's feeling like we've been here before. We're both so broke, that's something that'll keep us afloat. Don't walk too slow, we can't keep falling deeper again. Came too close and the taste so far from pure. A rush of blood, but we search for so much more. We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to another Shenandoah University esports broadcast. My name is Kevin Clayton and today I am joined by one of our Rocket League players, Griff. Griff, tell me, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here, happy to be back with another Rocket League match. Got a great show for you guys tonight, got some action afterwards, so make sure to stick around.
Alrighty, sounds good. Now, I want to talk a little bit about going into this match this week, because right now we're seeing a very tough start, but I know you guys have been working together so far, so I'm hoping to hear a little bit. What's your game plan? What does it look like today, sort of getting ready for this matchup?
Yeah, absolutely. We had some very tough matchups in our first 4 weeks of games. We were able to get out with a win, couple that we should have won, but we're just looking to improve on consistency and working as a team, make sure we're getting our comms up and just working together better, I guess you could say.
I love to hear it. As we all know here at Shenandoah, teamwork makes the dream work. So now, with all of that being said, I do have to ask one little question for me, frankly, is did you enjoy just the weekend sort of things? I gotta ask, anything exciting happen?
Oh, absolutely. We took a trip down to Canes. That was really fun. Got some good food, watched some good football games. I don't know, just had a chill weekend, catch up on some homework. That's about it, but it was good.
Hell yeah. And so with all of that being said, I am looking forward to watching this game. And with all of you, stick around. Don't go anywhere. We will have gameplay in just a little bit.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Shenandoah Esports Arena here in Winchester, Virginia. Chris Clayton joined by Will Jenkins in for the lovely Ben and Molly, who are still traveling back from what I
Yes.
heard was a lovely DreamHack Atlanta.
yeah.
So Ben and Molly, if you're watching, safe travels. Good luck to you. But that leaves us with a pretty fun task. We are here to bring you more Rocket League action to pick up where they left off, but we also have a Shenandoah Esports First tonight. We will be bringing you some Street Fighter 6 action. So be sure to stay tuned through the entire show. We've got a lot to bring you, and it's going to be a very fun night. Will, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling absolutely phenomenal. You know, this Rocket League team just keeps on getting better and better every week, and to really watch them grow from basically nothing has been absolutely phenomenal, and a chance to really showcase their skill. I cannot. I just can't wait.
Right, yeah, this has been such a fun team to watch grow, as you said, right?
Yes.
We watched all of these players start as first years, really,
Yeah.
at their own respective times, right? Mango starting 2 years ago when I came to the school as well, and Eliminathan
Man, I'm
transferring in last year, starting last year. Kiazi starting as a freshman last year, as we show you the roster here. I mean, these guys have had so much time to learn and grow together and really build something special as a team.
Yeah, and that's really what you want to do if you're trying to form a new team, is to find a bunch of people that are around the same age instead of having 2 or 3 that are going to be graduating or moving out the next day. And it gives you a chance over time to really build a dynasty or just build up a team. And we've seen that, and they've gone up against some heavy hitters in this division as we take a look at our standings. I mean, this is not easy competition at all. I mean, you see the holy land of collegiate esports, Maryville at the top, just an absolute force to be reckoned with in collegiate,
Right.
And just so much talent in this pool.
Yeah, and as Mango said in the pregame interview, they've had some tough matchups these first couple weeks, right? Shenandoah down at 1-3 on the right side of your screen there, but having to play against Maryville and Kaiser already, getting those games out of the way, right? That's a big deal, right? It is hopefully uphill from here if you're Shenandoah University Rocket League, as today they will be taking on Blinn University, which you saw is 2-2 currently in the standings. So it's going to be an exciting game, right? We know all of those rosters that you just saw are so talented, Shenandoah included. But it'll be a close game. This is a very even matchup, I'd say, skill-wise.
Yeah, and talking to Mango before the match as well, he said their ratings are really close to that of Shenandoah. Their best player, I believe, was Cody, right, was the name. A little bit, edges them out a little bit in terms of rating, but he said it should still be a really close matchup between these two teams. So I'm thinking maybe Game 5 here tonight.
Hey, I mean, that would be so much fun, right? We've got Rocket League coming at you pretty much any minute now, but as I said at the start of the show, we'll be bringing you some Street Fighter action at 8. So that certainly could be fun for us if those end up.
I'm so excited to see Street Fighter. I unfortunately
too.
will not be on the desk. Mossman will be joining Christopher himself on the desk, but just being able to showcase these new titles as well, it showcased the skill that Shenandoah has at just various games is great, because we've added not only that, but we've also added Tekken and Guilty Gear Strive. Shout out Mossman and Kip on that end.
Yeah.
Absolutely been killing it in CFGC.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what those two can really bring to the table.
Right.
But I'm so stoked for Street Fighter tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And I assure you it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about it, so definitely stay tuned if that's something you're interested in. But anyway, like we said, back to Rocket League, right? That is the task at hand.
Yep.
We see our guys getting ready to head into game just about any minute here. And like you said, right, we have sort of a similar team structure that Blinn has, right, with kind of one pretty strong player. For us, historically, that has been Mango. For Blinn, it sounds like that's going to be Cody, as I was talking to the players beforehand. I talked to Mango. I talked to Eliminate, right? And the big takeaway, literally, that I wrote in my notebook is Cody equals dog, right? Cody
like
for the
dog,
other team.
like good dog, right?
Yes, D-A-W-G.
Not bad dog, good dog.
Right.
Okay, just making sure. I don't want to poke the bear on that one.
No, that's a great clarification. It sounds like both of these teams really have a frankly, superstar on their team with a strong supporting cast around them, and am confident will kind of be the storyline of both sides, right? Who can support the heavy hitter the most, right? Which team is able to step up and play their roles, really play as a team, do your job type mentality. Because both teams are going to be going for the same thing, but one of these teams is going to walk out with a win and the other one will not.
Yeah, and it also a factor that plays into that is also how much does it help enable your team as well? Because it's one thing to be really good, air dribble, flip resets, the whole the whole bag of tricks.
Yeah.
How can you work as a leader, and then how can you inspire your teammates to do better? Can you get them in positions, get them in spots to help them succeed, or do you take the bull by the horns and become a one-man army? Both have their strengths, and both have one has way more of a weakness than the other.
Right.
So I think that's also a key factor in determining this is how do you affect the people around you as the superstar, which naturally would mean the leader of the team, which we've seen Mango do time in and time out.
Exactly, yeah, and that's sort of been the story, the strategy for Shenandoah in years past as well, because Mango at least in the past, in previous years, has sort of been, that heavy hitter, the guy scoring all the goals. But this year, the team has been very open that they want him taking a bit more of a back seat. Not necessarily a back seat, but like
back seat.
Right, yeah, like focusing on building up the rest of the team with him, really. And we can show you so far across the season, it has worked, right? Mango is not the only person on the team scoring all the goals. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and as someone who's kind of been back of house production for the most part this year, but being able to really catch almost every Rocket League game, I've seen just it's spread out across the board, because my job usually is labeling the replays, seeing who scored what goal.
Right.
And almost every single week, it's just even. There's no one real name that ever stands out.
Yeah.
They've done a great job this year of becoming a cohesive, consistent unit, one that works well together and bounces well off each other. Of course, there's always going to be hitches and roads. It's the beginning of the year.
Pains.
Yeah, growing pains. Yes, great word for that. But it also just goes to show how they've kind of adopted the team mentality rather than playing as a team of individuals, have become a cohesive unit that is ready to put the ball in the back of the net.
Right. Yeah. Their game plan is laid out for them. Right.
Yes.
They've got the plan. They've got their idea. They just need to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And we've seen highs for this team, right? They did get their win earlier this season. They're currently sitting at 1-3 though. So like the results so far have not quite shown themselves. Now again, 2 of those losses are against those 2 top teams we just showed you in the standings, right? And I'm not here to make excuses, but yeah, it's
not excuses. It's good reason.
Right. Yeah. Eventually, you'd like to see those results really start to come out, and so hopefully tonight is the start of something great as we prepare to take you into Game 1 of Shenandoah University Rocket League against Blinn University.
Yeah, it should be a phenomenal matchup. Both these teams, very similar situations, very similar skill level, and should just make for an absolute banger of a matchup here. And Chris, I'm going to give my Wilson prediction.
Whoa.
It's going to go to Game 5 OT.
I certainly hope so. I mean, that's so much fun for us all to sit here and watch. I'm sure it's not as fun for the players to have to sit and endure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, like that would certainly be a lot of fun. And on paper, it seems like that's the direction we're headed with how evenly matched and similar these teams are just fundamentally. You would think that this is just going to naturally be an extremely close series, but we'll see, right? You never know until the lights come on and you have to go out there and execute.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, as the phrase goes, when the lights are brightest, how do you perform? And we'll have to see, because both these teams, this is a pinnacle part in their season play. If Shenandoah loses going down to 1-4, that is a lot harder to recover from than 1-3. Meanwhile, Blinn sit at 2-2. If they lose this, they have a losing record. So a lot at stake here between these two teams, and can really, I think, make or break their season.
Yeah, you make a great point, right? trajectory matters in terms of momentum, right? Momentum is a bit of a scandalous term in any form of competition, but I mean, it's real. Anybody who's ever played competitive sports or esports or anything can tell you that momentum is a very real thing. And it's not only within one game, but across an entire season, right? If you're able to come into this game 2-2, if you're Blinn College, or Blinn University, excuse me, and take a win, right? Coming out of this game positive is a big deal, right? Taking that momentum into future series is a lot easier than, like you said, coming out negative can do a lot of mental, wear and tear on a team, and same thing for Shenandoah, right? If you come out of this game with a win, you have equal records, but you also have the head-to-head, and that can mean so much going down the line. So a lot at stake, a lot more than just one game, right? Both teams looking to come out today 1-0, but there's definitely a lot more to look out for. Yeah, and you talked about that mental aspect. It's such a big part of esports and regular sports as a whole, and really can determine how well a team does as we head into game number 1 here, about 20 seconds away from the clock. And meanwhile, right now, it just seems like Shenandoah back on the back foot, but looking to counterattack here. Right, yeah, SU a little bit lower on boost than Blinn to start this game, but both teams just sort of fighting for control of the ball, right? Either team looking for a window to really make a play. Not enough time just yet as Alim gets a nice save onto the first shot of the game. But as the ball now moves down to Blinn territory, they look to take control right back, but not quite able to do it as they bump it into the corner, and sure enough, they will take control. Yeah, and I want to see Shenandoah take a more aggressive approach coming into this game. I want them to set the tone early. I want to see some demos come out, some boost stealing, some boost starving. Control the pace of the game, make Blinn play at your pace, and I think that will help you get set up in a position to win this entire series. And I think that's the big key to success in this one. Yeah, it's certainly a great way to start really any series, right? Being able to set your own tempo early on, right? Everybody would much rather play, as my other co-caster Kevin always says when we cast Smash Bros, right? To play your own game. Don't play to your opponent's game. So really setting tempo, as we see now a shot attempt there from Cody, saved at the very last minute by Mango, but not quite able to clear just yet as Blinn looks to continue their aggression so far. Yeah, Blinn right now is just peppering the goal with shots, just nothing being able to break through this iron wall that is Shenandoah, just standing tall. Bend, don't break right now is the name of the game for Shenandoah, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Meanwhile, we do see demos start to come out from Blinn, trying to get a little more aggressive and force this ball into the back of the net. And Shenandoah almost lets one through, but Mango says, not in my house. It just absolutely incredible save from the back post. Yeah, Mango getting demoed not long before that, but able to come back just in time to make a pretty impressive save right under the crossbar. But now we see the ball going the other direction very briefly, but not for long, as Blinn is able to push it right back down the field. And here comes a shot from Cody, not quite there for him, but a center ball with no follow-up means that this game is back to neutral, at least for now. Yeah, back and forth, looking like a game of tennis between these two teams. One team goes, takes a shot, gets cleared to the other end, gets cleared on that end. It's just back and forth. Really no one having full control after Blinn had that early volley of offense, and really nothing being able to be let through as the dribble tries to go out, and it just barely sneaks in the back of the net. Great goal there by Blinn to take the lead early here with 2 minutes left remaining. Yeah, unfortunate there, just going for a little 50-50, but the defender, I believe that was Mango, I couldn't quite tell, just getting bumped right off at the last second. I think he got unable blown up. Oh, okay, yeah, so either way, right, forced out of the way, and unfortunately was not nobody there to make the last-ditch effort and make that save. Yeah. Will mean Blinn is up 1-0, but 3 minutes down in this game, 2 left to go as the clock is ticking. Shenandoah only down 1 for now. Yeah, still plenty of time left in this one. If you're Shenandoah, don't panic. Keep playing your game as you said. Stay in the groove. Keep trying to set up offense. Make sure you're doing your rotations, because I think that's the biggest question mark heading into this one, is how good is Shenandoah's rotations going to be? Are they going to be able to keep their shape
through the entire game as they try and adapt. And if they can't, it's gonna be a long night for them.
Yeah, and something I do want to point out is, like, after talking to the teams before, or talking to Shenandoah's team specifically, something they said they wanted to work on coming into this game was just all-around team play, and that's something we haven't quite seen yet so far, at least in this game one, as now Cody looked for a shot off the backboard, but can't find that one. We haven't seen many opportunities for Shenandoah to really make team plays because Blinn has had possession of the ball just about this whole time. So I'd like to see a little bit more aggression, a little bit quicker reactions to these transition plays, but so far Shenandoah standing stalwart on defense so far, but plays like this, right? We see a double commit from Blinn and a little out of position, but Shenandoah just unable to capitalize fast enough. And now with 30 seconds left in the ball at midfield, nobody with really clear control of the ball just yet as Blinn looks to just boom it to the net, but Mango there to keep it on Blinn's side as they look to make a play. Can't quite capitalize on that one. But
yeah.
15 seconds left, clock is ticking.
Yeah, time is running out from Shenandoah. Shot is going to come out, but it's going to get stopped. Mango with another second attempt is not going to fall, and Blinn is going to capitalize on the defensive lapse by Shenandoah, pretty much setting everyone in at once at the goal. They don't get the result they want, and Blinn capitalizes and seals the dagger that is likely going to give them game number 1 here in this series.
Yeah, I don't hate that play if you're Shenandoah,
No,
right? They committed pretty hard to scoring there and just not quite able to rotate back in time, but that's to be expected, right? You're down 1-0, you feel like you need to make a play, and that one just didn't work out as Blinn watches the clock tick down, up 2-0, and they will take game 1 in this series.
Yeah, and really back and forth, you know, we see Blinn. I mentioned, you know, Shenandoah needs to kind of control the pace, and I think Blinn actually heard me say that and was like, yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, they had that ball pretty much in Shenandoah's half the entire first half of the match, and there was really nothing Shenandoah could do. Well, besides defend, but eventually that defense did break, and they were able to sneak a goal into the bottom corner. And from there, Shenandoah had to play catch-up. So really just great play from both these teams. Both teams very consistent with it, and being able to transition and rotate well. I imagine game 2 is going to be another really close match just like that one.
Yeah, and you said it, right? It's these teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah.
And like we said that strategy for, you know, setting the tempo early, right? We saw Blinn do exactly what we were hoping to see Shenandoah do early on as we now move into game 2 here. 5 seconds in, we take you into the action, even game so far. But yes, I mean, I would like to see Shenandoah take a little bit better advantage of the defensive plays that they're making, right? They're getting great stops, but just unable to convert them into anything offensively, as we now do see a shot from the closer post, centering the ball there, and Mango just able to tap it in. Easy peasy, take that in his own hands and put Shenandoah up 1-0.
And a great capitalization by Shenandoah after a defensive lapse there by Blinn. Really just unable to get that ball cleared out, and it didn't seem like they had anyone on the back post ready for that deflection. And Mango makes them pay. I mean, a great job of being in the right place at the right time. And there's another goal for Mango. He said, all right, we'll give you guys 1 game. And just absolutely phenomenal job right here. Really just does a great job of saying what Blinn did, and that was capitalize on the ball not being cleared. And 2 goals as a result from that strategy. Shenandoah's up in under 40 seconds.
Right, yeah, and it's more or less exactly what we wanted to see, right? It's going to sound like a paradox, but aggressive defense, right? Not letting Blinn, because Blinn is doing more or less the same thing, trying to just maintain control, set up their own plays, and take shots when they want to. But we're seeing Shenandoah not let that happen, not let the ball sit still, not let themselves get too comfortable on defense. And we've seen Mango now punish 2 great goals in Shenandoah's favor, as now we see Blinn looking to get the ball out of their own territory, right? A bit of a change of pace for them as we now see the ball above Shenandoah's net, but here comes Mango.
Yeah, and one thing, though, I do want to see Shenandoah do with this lead is stay aggressive. You know, don't keep your foot off the gas. Just keep punishing Blinn. Don't let them out of their half. Keep fighting with this lead. just don't get complacent, because that's how leads can go away in a matter of seconds if you're not careful. So just I would love to see Shenandoah establish their dominance in this match and hopefully carry that momentum into the second game.
Yeah, you took the word out of my mouth, right? We talked pre-game about momentum, or at least in game one about momentum, as Kiazi finds a tight angle of his own, going up to set up a play, decides to put it in himself, not even wait for his teammates, and a great little lob there from Elim to let Kiazi finish the job. Another great shot, great goal from Shenandoah, and they're up 3-0 in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, blink and you'll miss it. I mean, this team is completely different from the team in game one, kind of looking like maybe a maybe like a warm-up game. Or warm-up round for Shenandoah, as they take a 3-0 lead against Blinn, a team very close to where they are skill-wise. And right now, Shenandoah almost just puts another one in the back of that. Elim banks it off of the front post and it bounces out. So unfortunate there, but right now Shenandoah just absolutely just dominant. And Mango is letting them know. Hat trick from Mango here in this one. 4-0 for Shenandoah with 2:30 left to play.
Yeah, more or less the same play we saw on that first goal from Mango, but just on the other side of the goal, right? Right to left, left to right, doesn't matter. Mango's putting it in your net, right? Shenandoah up 4-0. Great offense and a total change of pace from game one.
Yeah, and it's just they look so much more lethal on offense. Granted, that could be attributed to the 4 goals that they've scored. But it just seems like every pass they make, every touch they make of the ball is calculated and planned. It seems like they're a completely different team. And as a great fake there by Shenandoah, as great goal. Voteless just absolutely weaving their way through Shenandoah. Mango missing, Elim missing, Kiazi missing, everyone missing. Just a great job there by Voteless. They just weave their way through the Shenandoah defense, and you don't get to see that every day. It's a great goal.
Right, yeah, unfortunately that is one of the problems we've seen so far from Shenandoah's Rocket League team this season, right? They're able to make great plays. The mechanics are there. These are all incredible players, but sometimes the consistency can slip, right? The veil falls a little bit, and it's moments like that where, yeah, we do just see 1 whiff, 2 whiff, and all of a sudden Blinn is walking it into
Sound like a Dr.
goal.
Seuss book there. 1 whiff, 2 whiff, 3 whiff.
Yeah.
Green whiff, blue whiff.
Man, an almost incredible goal
stop.
from Blinn there, but an even better save. And I mean, great team play there from Blinn, which is something that I was like hoping to see from Shenandoah. But I mean, again,
we have.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
you made it sound like we haven't seen it from
Well, yeah,
Shenandoah.
I mean, yeah, Mango has made some incredible individual plays. We have seen some great team play from Shenandoah as well. But, I mean, the story of this series so far has been how evenly matched these teams are. Ooh. As we see another attempt off the backboard not go in. Again, great defense so far from Shenandoah in this game, too. And great defense in game one, right? The defense has been incredible to watch from Shenandoah when they don't have the ball. But so far, 1-4 with less than a minute left to play. It would take borderline a miracle for Blinn to come back at this point, but it's certainly not impossible.
Yeah, pinch in the corner is going to force it out. Elim gets the Elim. But no, it's really phenomenal job by the defense doing the bend don't break strategy that so many teams in sports and esports love to adopt. And they've done it really well. You know, we've seen them absorb the pressure of Blinn fairly well, only allowing in 1 goal this match, and we've seen some phenomenal saves as well on back post rotations from SU. Shot goes to the corner, not quite going to be found, not quite going to find the back of the net. And it looks like Shenandoah will take this one as Kiazi puts the cherry on top with another goal, his second of the match, as Shenandoah comes out to a 5-1 lead and is going to win game number 2.
Yeah, again, just sneaking it in very tight windows, and that's the type of play that you like to see from Shenandoah, right?
Yep.
That's the stuff that's going to matter long term in this series. Who can make those very close plays and come out on top. But we see Shenandoah taking game 2, as you said, 5-1 the final score and 1-1 in the series.
Yep, and we got ourselves a series, ladies and gentlemen. 1-2-1, phenomenal play from Shenandoah and Blinn, respectively, both teams showing just how much talent they have on these teams as the power struggle in NACE continues between these two squads. And Kiazi's hyped up and ready. We love that. He is so hyped. Mango saying hi. Hi, Mango. Kiazi is just so stoked on it. I'm trying to recover after that. I was not ready to see that.
Yeah, you love to see the players in high spirits, right? Especially with a tie series. I mean, sure, they just won the game, but this has been very close. A dominant game 1 from Blinn, a dominant game 2 from Shenandoah means your prediction might be coming true before we know it.
And that's one thing. I know I say it every Rocket League broadcast I come on, but the thing that's so crazy about Rocket League to me is how quickly the momentum can switch, because one game could be like
absolutely
5-0. Next game could be 0-10 to the other team that just got
absolutely
destroyed. And Mako is ready to just disprove that entire theory, as he's ready to send Shenandoah to another quick win as a kickoff goal off the back wall allows Mango to capitalize and score for SU 1:02 seconds into the game.
Those are always so tough, right? Kickoff goals can feel like such random goals sometimes, but I mean, yeah, that is still a defensive misplay from Blinn, and sure enough, Shenandoah ready and able to capitalize, go up 1-0, like you said, 2 seconds into the game. But we talk about momentum, we talk about mentalities. A kickoff goal off the rip like that can do wonders for Shenandoah for putting Blinn on the back foot early.
Yeah, meanwhile, Cody trying to work his magic in the air doesn't quite have enough boost to capitalize on that. And Shenandoah trying to clear this ball out of their end, but they can't quite just do it. And one thing, if I'm Blinn, you need to go quick, because you run risk of this getting away from you fairly quickly.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's easy to sit. Oh, my Lord. It's easy to sit.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
Down 1-0, right, knowing you have the rest of the game to try to make that better. But sure enough, we don't have to worry about that, as Blinn is able to respond with a massive downfield shot. And Shenandoah just a little too slow to get up in the air and deflect it. Means we have a tie game here.
And a great shot, too. I mean, top right corner right there for Blinn. As Shenandoah goes for another kickoff goal. I thought they might have had that.
Wow.
As Mango with a great shot, but an even better save from Blinn. It prevents that from going into the back of the net. Back of post save coming out from Mango yet again. Looking like a defensive stalwart in this roster. And right now, that's a dangerous ball. Are they going to be able to capitalize it? No, Cody misses off the back wall. Doesn't quite have anything going for them, as Shenandoah dodges an absolute bullet right there.
Wow, I mean, what do they say? It's a game of inches, man. The defensive front on both sides has been so good to
you just
watch.
Had to say something.
Yeah, I did have to say something, because the
I'm glad
moment
I'm not the one caster cursing this time.
Yep, the moment it comes out, we do see a Blinn goal squeak through the defense there. But again, both teams have been making incredible saves both ways, right? We're seeing, like we've been saying, the individual talent is really shining both on the offensive and defensive front. There have been miraculous shots, but even more miraculous saves both ways. This has been incredible to watch so far.
It really has been, and now as we get almost to the halfway point with about 3:10 left in this one, Shenandoah has a counterattack opportunity. Mango trying to get it off of the top post, but just too far from his teammate is going to prevent them from getting that, and that's almost another goal. That's the second shot Blinn has had go off the top post, but Voteless is there to clean things up, and Blinn trying to take back the momentum of this series. 3-1 in their favor with 2:57 left to play.
Yeah, that was such good offense from Blinn. Literally all three players taking their own shots, and unfortunately Kiazi getting stuck with no boost, trying to make any defensive play that he can. He makes one save, he makes two saves, but the third shot comes in and he's just not able to keep up with it. But great team play from Blinn there. We're seeing the effect of all three players really coming to life.
And this is where the point that I made earlier about how varied Rocket League games are. I mean, last game was 5-1 in favor of Shenandoah. Now it's 3-1 against them. It's just, it's absolutely just mind-boggling to me to see as Blinn, unfortunately, not able to capitalize on that goal, just barely misses out on a wide-open net. Seemingly just missing it. Really unfortunate stuff. We've seen a couple of those from both teams, but it's a reminder that nobody's perfect. You know, you're not going to hit every single ball.
Right, and something I'd like to see a little bit more of if I'm Shenandoah is trying to get even more aggressive with demos. Right,
Yes.
High-level Rocket League can really come down to demos, and we haven't seen too many of those, whereas Blinn is finding a good handful of their own. They haven't been able to capitalize on many just yet, but the demos can make or break certain shots, and in a game like this where the defense has looked so clean and so strong, demos are what quite literally blow that up. So,
I see what you did there.
yeah, I would like to see a little bit more aggression from Shenandoah in that sense, but nonetheless, we do see Shenandoah moving the ball toward that Blinn goal, but another great save there as Blinn looks to try to transition this into an offensive play of their own.
Yeah, and Shenandoah shifting it into gear, kicking it into overdrive offense, flying out the wall. And meanwhile, Cody goes for the flip reset. He's able to get the touch down off of the top wall, and Voteless is there to secure it away for another goal in favor of Blinn. And now Shenandoah down 3 goals with 1:17 left. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's improbable.
I did just say last game that it would take a borderline miracle if you are Blinn. Oh, man, might have got another kickoff goal there, but another shot there from Kiazi, not quite able to find it. And we do see one more touch from Elim being player number 3, able to put it in. And, I mean, we said a miracle. Miracles happen. A minute, all of a sudden, for 2 goals is a lot better than 3 goals.
It really,
deceptively.
Well, yeah, that is how numbers work, Chris. No, but really just a great job there of Shenandoah to just relentlessly just pepper that goal with shots, and eventually one of them does find the mark. And now a minute left to score 2 more. I mean, you scored 1 in like what was that, like 5 seconds, 7 seconds? Surely you can do that 2 more times before time expires.
Right.
As Shenandoah tries to tie this one up with 40 seconds left to play, ball at that halfway mark. Can Shenandoah find something on offense here to give them the edge?
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to boost in these late moments, as we do see Mango able to find one of his own, and just like that, 30 seconds left on the clock with the safety net of overtime means that Shenandoah just needs 1 more goal to tie this game up.
1 goal is all that separates Shenandoah and extra time. Let's see if they can secure it. 30 seconds is all that remains in this one. Blinn, although you have Cody going for the flip reset, gets interrupted in midair. And now it's Shenandoah's time to counterattack. What can they do with this ball? They need to get it out of their own end quickly. There's not a lot of time left in this one.
Right, and again, as I started to say before the last goal, keep an eye on the boost values on either side of your screen.
Yes.
Both of these teams need to play fast, especially Shenandoah needs to play fast if they're able to score in these last 5 seconds. But as the clock ticks down to 1, if the ball hits the ground, this game will be over. And sure enough, Blinn will find a win in game number 3. But man, are these games close.
Wow, what a performance that was from Shenandoah, seemingly down and out of the of game 3, and all of a sudden crawl their way back into a position to where they could have tied it up, and were so close to doing just that. I mean, phenomenal job by both teams. Blinn looked absolutely unstoppable on offense, and meanwhile Shenandoah, the indomitable human spirit strikes yet again, refusing to give up, and a great job there, almost sending it to OT, but we will head into game 4 with Blinn having a 2-1 advantage in this one.
Right, and the storyline of the day has been how close these teams are, and when you're this close, every single thing matters.
Yes.
We talk about boost, we talk about demos, we've talked about momentum. Even if Shenandoah did not walk out of that game with a win, that's got to rattle you a little bit if you're Blinn, right? Letting up 3 goals in a minute to end that game, all of a sudden Shenandoah's probably feeling a little bit better, right? It's about not losing by 4 goals as we now load into game number 4. Can Shenandoah keep up the momentum, or can Blinn find the last win they need to put this series away?
Yeah, and that little voice is definitely making itself a little louder in the back of Blinn's mind. Like, hey, we almost blew that lead. You know, let's not do something like that in this game, and maybe a little bit of self-doubt. Who knows, in Shenandoah having that light of hope illuminate their way potentially to victory. We'll have to wait and find out here in game number 4 of this best of 5. 30 seconds in, both teams back and forth already. Blinn with a little bit of an offensive advantage.
Yeah, I'd say so. Blinn looking a little bit more back to their game 1 strategy of just maintaining possession for as long as possible, but we do see a pretty long shot there now, giving possession basically right back to Shenandoah. But for now, a neutral ball right down midfield, a pretty even boost value both sides. The ball in Blinn's corner, but an unfortunate whiff there from Shenandoah means that Blinn will get a bit of an advantage to take the play that they want. But sure enough, Mango all over the field, ready to keep it on their side. But unfortunately, now here comes that Blinn aggression. Another backboard shot does not find the net. And now Shenandoah almost with a number advantage if they were able to win that 50-50. But again, back and forth, nothing too crazy so far.
Yeah, and it seems like that's really been Blinn's strategy, is try and win those 50-50s on the clearances as that ball almost sneaks into the back of the net, but doesn't quite find, go past the post, and Shenandoah able to clear it. Meanwhile, Shenandoah has to be careful of centering that ball for Blinn, essentially, as we see the demos come out. And that ball is dangerous in the middle, and Elim is going to capitalize and put that one in the back of the net as Shenandoah takes a 1-0 lead with 3:16 left to play.
And what did we say, too? Demos are going to be a massive difference maker in this game. We see Shenandoah get an early demo in that exchange, right? Having numbers only for Blinn to then even the numbers, but still caught on their back foot means that Shenandoah is able to put that one in. A great team play there with Elim able to finish the job.
Yeah, and that is exactly the start you want if you're Shenandoah. You come so close to stealing away game number 3. And so to come out of the gates flying and being able to capitalize, being the first one to strike, first one to draw blood is absolutely phenomenal and exactly what you want to do to start this. Now you have to keep this pressure up, keep the pace, and keep pushing for the win.
Oh, wow.
But what a shot that is. Bengals boss just finds the small, tiniest gap in the defense, is able to capitalize. What a shot.
What a touch. That's an incredible play there for Blinn to tie this game up. And I mean, I was just about to say, right, last game we saw Shenandoah strike first, but end up losing control of the game relatively quickly. So if you're Blinn, you really can't panic in a situation like that. And sure enough, an incredible touch and goal there to tie the game up means that, yeah, we are right back to 0-0 as we approach the halfway point in game number 4.
Right back to square one, as some people would say. And now that's a dangerous shot across the net. No one can capitalize. Ball bounces off the bottom right corner, not quite going in, and now Shenandoah able to set their rotations back up and clear this ball out, but that's another dangerous ball floating up towards the center of the net. Shenandoah able to get this one out back to halfway, but meanwhile, Cody tries to hit us with a mean flip reset, but not quite able to go in, and meanwhile, dribbles come out from SU, but it's going to be put back to the neutral area as back and forth between these two teams continues.
Yeah, we're seeing such talented players go to work right now. Both teams looking for any opportunity to carry the ball from one end of the field to the other, as we now see Mango looking to put it in himself. And sure enough, off the backboard, finding it off the bounce as well. Mango making his own plays out of thin air, taking the lead 2-1.
What a shot and what a goal. The control in the air from Mango. It puts it back in, puts it in the back. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. What a goal from Mango. Just weaves his way around and maneuvers perfectly in the air to give Shenandoah the lead. And now SU with a chance to extend their lead by more as they go on the attack here with about a minute 20 left to play.
Yeah, I mean, this is where Shenandoah needs to settle down a little bit as another dangerous ball goes across Shenandoah's goal. But up 1, right, you now don't need to be taking those crazy aggressive, borderline desperate measures to make plays on the offensive side of the ball, right? You have the lead and only a minute left. If you're able to do exactly what Blinn was able to accomplish game 1 and just kill time. We see Alim trying to do that, but going just a little wide. Now Kiazi trying to set up a shot of his own. Mango takes the shot, but a little too high. One more shot goes right into the top corner, and Mango puts Shenandoah up 2 goals with less than a minute left to play.
And Mango is loud and proud right now. He is hungry. Shenandoah is hungry, and right now they're trying to have Blinn served on a 5-course meal as Shenandoah storms up 2 goals here in game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, this is the veteran presence, the captain presence. Another great save from Mango, making plays all over the field. Cold-blooded veteran presence on the team. This is the player that the coaches wanted to make the captain. We see another shot from Cody get stuffed by the goalpost, and now the ball going the other direction. Less than 30 seconds left in this game. Blinn needs 2 goals to tie it up, but that will be one of them. Cody able to put in a gorgeous shot of his own, but 1 goal left for Blinn to force this to overtime.
Cody with a phenomenal finish right there. Takes advantage of a Shenandoah mistake, and now 1 goal away as Blinn tries to even this up in a similar situation to what Shenandoah was in and force overtime. 20 is the countdown that Shenandoah is looking at, but of course, Blinn trying to push the initiative. That shot not quite going to find the back of the net. Wasn't really on target, but Shenandoah was able to clear it anyways, and now that ball is
dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous bounce right in front. Thankfully, no one there on Blinn to capitalize on it. Time is going to run out. Can they keep this ball in the air? Remember, time does not end if that ball doesn't hit the ground. And it looks like Shenandoah is going to take this game number 4. And Chris, I don't want to say I called it, but I called it. It is heading to game 5. And if this was... I mean, what a series this has been.
It does not get much closer than this, and we see the players just taking a breath, right? 2-2,
Massive sigh of relief.
Yeah, 1 game ahead of you, right? It's now back, like we said, square one, right? You got to settle down and go out there and play your game, right? Go out and take the ball, set your tempo, go out, get aggressive early, because that has been the ticket so far for Shenandoah.
And this is really where that leadership factor comes into play.
Absolutely.
You know, you have Shenandoah, meanwhile, who is hype as all could be, yelling after goals, and you need, as the captain, to kind of calm them down, collect them, and gather your thoughts and be able to capitalize as well as you can early on, because Shenandoah needs this game 5. This is it, make or break. It doesn't matter what happens after this. All that matters is winning, and that is what you need to direct your team to do.
Right, and we talked about how pivotal this could be for either team's season, right? There's more at stake than just this series. Shenandoah at 1-3 in the standings, Blinn at 2-2. A massive game for both of these teams to define themselves and define the rest of their season. But we'll see who's able to come out on top as we load into game number 5 of this incredible series so far.
And meanwhile, it looks like Blinn tried to go for another shot off the backboard. Seems like that is their bread and butter, their go-to, their staple. Meanwhile, that's a mistake on defense that thankfully Shenandoah is able to deal with, but almost a disastrous start for SU, as it seems like just a miss on defense almost leads to an early Blinn goal.
Yeah, you got to wonder if the nerves are starting to creep in, right? This is a relatively young team for Shenandoah, but they've been in situations like these, but unfortunately for them, Cody able to find the centered ball and capitalize on a pretty easy shot. Well laid up for him by Voteless, and putting Blinn up 1-0 to start this game.
And a great job on capitalizing on that defensive mistake by Shenandoah. And that's really been the name of the game for both these teams, is capitalizing on mistakes. And Blinn just really started off aggressive. It didn't let their foot off the gas, and now has a goal to count for it. And now Shenandoah trying to get and claw back into this one after being down 1-0. But Mango, there goes that man, sets it up for Kiazi, and Shenandoah says, thank you, we'll take that right back to square one.
Not quite how he drew it up, but great team support, able to find the shot that Mango could not quite finish. Kiazi able to find the last touch, put that one in, and tie this game up once again, 0-0. Back to square one, 4 minutes left.
And I'm sure if we ask Mango, he'll say that was a pass the entire
absolutely.
way. Yeah, knowing him, he'll be like, oh yeah, it was a pass the whole time. But no, really great job there by Mango. We see the aerial control that he's been so good at all year in this series, and is able to turn it into an assist for his teammate. And now Shenandoah on the offensive. We see Kiazi trying to dribble through the Blinn lineup and is able to get past one, but not quite the other. Ball gonna now be in Shenandoah's end as they try and clear this one.
Yeah, something that's scaring me a little bit if you're a fan of Shenandoah is that they have gotten bailed out just a couple times from missed shots, right? We see the ball crossing from side to side on the goal for Shenandoah, but Blinn just not quite able to finish the job. But in extended series like this, that matters, right?
Yes.
Plays like that, Blinn just borderline getting more opportunities than Shenandoah could spell disaster the longer this game goes on. But so far, no issues just yet. We see now as Shenandoah looking to find any play of their own, but now Blinn with control in their own corner.
It's Shenandoah has really pushed the pace here and is now just trying to find every last shot as Kiazi with a close shot almost going into the back of the net. Now we're back to neutral as Shenandoah tries and deal with this Blinn presence that's now encroaching onto their territory. Shenandoah trying to clear it out of their backline and get back on the offensive, but both these teams neck and neck, gridlocked together. What a save by Kiazi, saving an almost certain goal, and now has a chance to counterattack for Shenandoah.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, this is really interesting. Both of these teams, oh no, okay. I thought that might have been a goal for Blinn, but both of these teams have slowed down quite a bit.
Yes.
Since this game has been tied up, the pacing of this game has changed drastically as Cody looks to find a flip reset play of his own. Now as the ball will get cleared the other direction and it's a race to go save it. Not enough heat means that basically everybody in the lobby caught up to the ball before it got to the goal, but a fight for control means that Cody, once again, looking for a play of his own, looking to take this into his own hands, put Blinn up, but not quite enough, means that another play from Bengal Boss 99 will take the lead for Blinn. 1 minute, 45 seconds remaining for Shenandoah to try to find a way to tie this up.
And just such an unfortunate mistake on defense. Shenandoah just barely bounces over that ball and is unable to clear it, and Blinn is leading now with 1 minute 40 left in this one. Shenandoah needs to get this ball out of their own end if they're going to have anything. What a save by Mango. Has really been everywhere defensively for SU this entire game. And now Shenandoah trying to clear on their end, but great rotations by Blinn preventing them from doing just that.
Yeah, again, more defense, great defense all game long, but eventually great defenses let up a score sometimes. And sure enough, we saw another great shot there right over the top of Cody, or of one of the Blinn players, but Cody there to make the save. And now we do see another great team play from Blinn. Will now put them up 2 goals, still over 1 minute left to play, but this is dangerous territory for Shenandoah.
And really unfortunate there. Mango is there on defense, but so are 2 Blinn players, 2v1, and the ball ends up in the back of the net, and Shenandoah now finds themselves down by 2 goals with 1 minute left to play in this one. And right now it's do or die time for SU here in game number 5 of NACE, and Shenandoah trying to get on the offensive, but Cody doing all he can to keep that ball in the air, stall out that time, and give Blinn a much-needed win.
Yeah, we just need to see the speed come back if you're Shenandoah, right? We saw everybody in the lobby start to slow down when they noticed what was at stake, that we had a tie game. But all of a sudden, Blinn able to settle in and make plays means that Shenandoah is running out of time. Need to see a little bit more desperation as we do start to see that exact desperation, but unfortunately with desperation comes high risk, and Cody there to capitalize will mean that Blinn is up 3 goals, and we've used Miracle a couple times tonight, but 3 goals in 30 seconds is going to be very tough for Shenandoah.
It's almost next to impossible. Like a miracle of a miracle would be the term that we use to describe it, but really just a great job by both these teams. Cannot be stated enough. Blinn just phenomenal team play out of them. You know, you really see them try and capitalize off those shots off the backboard, and they found success with it. And meanwhile, Shenandoah, just great team play overall, really being able to use that to generate offense and find the goals. Just unfortunately falls short a little bit in this one as they lose to Blinn here in game number 5, but great play overall from both these teams. Really unfortunate result if you are a Shenandoah fan, but you can't, as a neutral, you got so much good Rocket League out of this game.
Yeah, and it's just a heartbreaker, right? It was so close, and we knew it was going to be. You made the prediction that this was going to go game 5.
I want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah, I mean, these were such evenly matched teams, such impressive players and talent all across the board. But unfortunately for Shenandoah, just a few too many plays not going their way. But you're right, we saw a lot of positives for the team. We saw great defense, great team awareness. Mango, as always, stepping up when he needs to. But all around, just not quite enough to finish the job for Shenandoah, and that unfortunately has been the story of the season so far as they dropped to 1-4.
Yeah, but there, like you said, there's still plenty of positives to take out of to take away. You know, you take a team, you're up against a team that's very similar to you skill-wise. You find a way to take them to game 5, where it was essentially nothing until halfway through, and then Blinn was able to find the holes in the defense and able to capitalize off it. So I think there's still plenty of positives that I'm sure Coach Quallark is going to be able to derive from this set. But overall, if I'm Shenandoah, I'm still happy with my performance.
Absolutely, and as we as fans can certainly still be happy with the performance of the team, because we are unfortunately done for tonight for Rocket League. So thank you so much for watching, but be sure to stay tuned because we as a show are not quite done. We have as I said before, Shenandoah Esports First coming up tonight, as we will be moving to Street Fighter 6, covering Way Awesome Kevin in his first live regular season competition. It's going to be something to watch, so do not go anywhere. We are going to take a quick break. We will be back close to about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So thanks for watching, all you Rocket League fans. Stick around if you're just a Shenandoah fan. We will be back with more esports content soon. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Shenandoah Esports Arena here in Winchester, Virginia. Chris Clayton joined now by Brennan Moss for the first time in a while because we are here to bring you something we've never quite done here at Shenandoah Esports. We are going to watch some Street Fighter 6.
Some Street Fighter 6. I am so incredibly excited. Not only is it the first time we're doing Street Fighter 6, it's also the first time I get to cast with you.
Hey, look at us.
On stream. Look at us go.
That's true.
It's going to be an absolutely amazing time.
It's going to be great. Yeah, this is the first time that we've ever done a fighting game not called Smash Bros, right? A more traditional fighting game, and we have added multiple fighting game titles this year that we've never had in the past. We have a Street Fighter player, as we're about to watch together. We have a Tekken player in the form of Brennan himself here. And then we also have Guilty Gear representation, and I believe Mortal Kombat representation.
We do have Mortal Kombat. Shout out Cam
Yep.
for that one.
We've got them all covered, right? And we're going to do our best to bring as many of the games to you as we can. Obviously, we can't promise that we cover all of it, but be sure to follow us on all of our socials, and you will know exactly how everybody's doing as they do it. But back to the topic at hand, right? Street Fighter 6 is the game of the day, and Way Awesome Kevin will be the topic to cover.
Yes, he is. So Kevin is a M. Bison player.
Correct.
He and honestly exudes the energy himself. I mean, look at the handsome man right there.
That's a Bison player.
That's a Bison player. You look at Kevin and you're like, that's a Bison player. And Bison, while a very good character, hasn't really made any splashes in like the major tournaments yet. But you still see him a lot simply just because of who he is and how popular the character is.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to watch, and I believe we'll have 3 matchups that we're going to cover, or 3, I guess, matches that we're going to cover for Kevin today. And we will obviously know more about them as we get into them. It's hard for us to speculate now, but we know that he will be playing in no particular order, as far as I understand. Ortega, Avarice, and Nekod, right? This is the beauty of fighting games, right? We're going to find out a lot about these players as we watch them.
Yeah.
So we do it all the time with Smash, right? Anytime we commentate Smash, we know who we're playing. We don't know a ton about them until the game says 3, 2, 1, go, and we're like, oh, that's who they're playing. But we do know that Ortega we expect to play Jamie, and Avarice we expect to play Manon. That's about the only information we've got.
Yeah, we have pretty much zero clue on who the other player is playing currently, so we're going to find out as soon as you guys find out.
Exactly, yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So to give a little context on the season, right, this is the first week of, do I call it regular season matches?
Regular season.
Yeah, regular season matches.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of a preseason, if you want to call it that, in the form of seeding, I guess. Every player, pools, there you go. We had every player in this CFGC Street Fighter tournament play a multitude of games over the course of multiple weeks. And for those of you who already do follow us on our socials, you might have seen some of our individual players sort of streaming their own seeding games. But we know that Kevin finished his seeding matches finished 25 and 20 for a total of 45 games, right? He won 25 of his 45 games. So a strong performance. He ended up being seeded 38 out of 80 players. So basically right smack in the middle, a little above middle because Kevin is above average, I would say. So this is going to be the first time we really see him when the lights come on, right? We talked about it with Rocket League. When it comes time to execute, who knows what's going to happen? So we have all these statistics, right? But this is going to be the first time we really see Kevin go out and play a normal competitive match.
Yeah, and this is my first year as well in competing in fighting games. And like you were saying before, this is his first time under the lights. Fighting games are completely different from any other esport. Everything falls on the player, on that singular player. Every mistake, every success that comes from it is from that one player. And my first week of pools, I got in there, I was feeling confident because I was playing players that were kind of around my elo, at least in the rank system for Tekken. And I went in there and I was missing inputs left and right. It is a struggle once you realize that, hey, this is official matches. Everything counts right now. any little mistake is going to screw over your record, and you have to be on your game.
Yeah, and I had the, I don't want to say pleasure, but like the value, I guess, of watching Kevin play through his seeding matches, and especially his very first matches. He did have a couple moments like that where, you know, he had misinputs, right? He's missing certain, like, what we consider easy inputs and like textbook off the dome combos that just you don't even have to think about. But sure enough, like we said, you know, when the lights come on and you have to go out there and execute, God knows what what could happen.
And like, especially this is the first week of regular season. So pools are one thing, you know, you're going to face, the way it's structured in CFGC is that you're playing every single ELO in pools. Like, you're playing some person that's probably going to be top 3 at the end of the season, and then the next match right after is someone that may be touching a fighting game for the first time.
Yeah.
So now this is when we turn to playing pretty much everyone that's at your specific ELO. So it's a very interesting thing to see how players evolve. Kind of just, you know, iron sharpens iron kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we certainly hope you'll stick around and watch all 3 matches, because we're going to have a great time, and I certainly hope you all will as well. As we get ready to get into our first couple matches here, I do want to talk characters. I want to talk Street Fighter, just like as a whole, because you are now sort of my encyclopedia for Street Fighter knowledge, because I myself am going to kind of be learning a lot of this along with all of you at home, and it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it a lot. But so I want to talk characters, right? We said Kevin is an M. Bison player, or as we just call him, Bison. We know that he will be going up against a Jamie, we expect that he will go up against a Jamie, a Manon, and from what I'm seeing from our production, it looks like the third unknown player might be a JP. So
Yes,
how do you feel about those 3 characters?
So if we let's start off with Jamie, right? So Jamie's whole mechanic is a kind of like, he drinks herbal tea, essentially, and every time he drinks the tea, he levels up 1, and he'll gain access to more moves just in general, and he'll just do more damage. So essentially, he's trying to kind of find any singular time he can to level up using that drink, but that requires doing damage and like getting the space first before you even do that. So
how does a character like Bison deal with that sort of playstyle? Because I assume that means he's just pretty weak early on, Jamie specifically is pretty weak early on, but gets stronger as the game continues?
Yes, he gets stronger as the game continues. And so one thing that Bison has a lot of options. There is a slide move he has that can cover a lot of ground. You obviously have Psycho Crusher. You'll see Psycho Crusher a lot, and that's also can be used as an anti-air. So anytime that you see Jamie throw Bison, the next move that Kevin has to think of is whatever move he can to stop that drink from happening. Because once that kind of starts spiraling out of control, it's a lot harder for him to stop.
Yeah, and it'll be fun to watch, but it looks like the first matchup will not be the Jamie. We are going to have Kevin fight against Manon first. So it will be Avarice out of, I believe it, Miami of Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. MUOH, if nothing else. So, game 1 for Kevin in his Street Fighter 6 CFGC debut, and so far has a lead.
Yes, he does. And as for Manon, because we just talked about Jamie, Manon is all command grabs. Every time she does a command grab, as we see she just does there, it levels her up a bit. And it doesn't unlock more moves, but it makes the next command grab she does do more damage. So Kevin's got to be really careful here, watching out for those command grabs.
Yeah, we see Manon in burnout, about to get out of it, as Kevin really teetering the line, but not quite going into burnout. Now both of these players very low and just waiting for one interaction, but sure enough, the DI will not connect and is instantly parried as Kevin is able to string that into a gorgeous combo of his own and take his first ever round of Street Fighter competition.
That was huge work from Kevin, kind of just waiting it out, baiting the Manon into some moves that he was able to take advantage of here. And one thing you also notice here about Manon is that those levels persist through the rounds. Unlike Jamie, where his drinks don't persist, Manon's command grabs do.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. And it'll be interesting to see how Kevin now has to play around because this Manon has 4 stacks, 4 medals of that enhanced grab, as now we see the 5th one come out, and Kevin finding himself at about half HP, unable to find much damage of his own yet so far, but drive bar so far favoring Kevin, as we now see Avarice puts himself into burnout, and Kevin looking to capitalize.
Got to be a little careful here on both sides, as both players have their level 3. Although they usually do tend to wait till last round to use this, Kevin can take this combo into one right now as we speak. As we see that level 3 go through, and Kevin should kill here, and is able to, and takes the second round of the first set to win it.
Yeah, so this is a great time to talk about structure here, as we will be watching. These matchups will be best of 5s, but they play all 5 no matter what. So we should be getting back into game here just about any second, as sure enough, yes, we will be in round 2. These rounds will be coming at you quick, right? We won't have much time in between, but yes, like I said, it'll be a best of 3, but we're going to play all 5 no matter what.
Yes, they're trying to get essentially the best standings they can out of it here. As we see some jumps going through, they're kind of figuring out what each other's going for here, as we now see huge parry there come out with the Manon into that command grab, already up to level 3.
Yeah, so we're starting to see the strategy, or at least the light game plan from Kevin to try to utilize his jump as much as possible, because like we said, Manon needs as many of these grabs as she can get, and sure enough, she'll finish that one off with a grab, and finding 4 grabs in round 1 alone will mean that this Manon's grab is becoming stronger and stronger right in front of our eyes.
Got to be very careful, especially when it gets to level 5, which is her max. That does about 4,000 damage, which is around the same amount of damage as a level 3 does. As some parries go out there, reads the throw, trying to get a drive rush in, does find a kick onto there. Wow. Psycho Crusher parried. Yeah. Because Kevin's trying to get a little aggressive here, trying to find an opening on the Manon.
Yeah, and for reference, for those of us learning together, every character has 10,000 HP with a couple exceptions here and there, neither one of these characters being an exception. So 4,000 damage is a lot of damage, as we now see the 5th medallion, coming out for Manon, as now that grab is fully online and could do a significant chunk of Kevin's remaining health bar. But we see the OD Psycho Crusher able to close that gap, find his way in, and look to put this away, and sure enough, he will, just over the top, put that one down, and 1-1 in this second game.
Yeah, absolute huge reads there, watching the Manon walk back there. Trying to go for a few drive rushes, not gonna go well. Gotta watch that drive gauge. Not try to spam it too much, as that overdrive Psycho Pressure does come in. But here comes the level 3, and it's going to hit. Now that won't kill, but it does put Kevin in a little bit of a sticky situation.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell. It looked like Kevin maybe went for a grab there, and Manon was able to find the timing and punish, but now Kevin in burnout of his own, right? A bit of a sticky situation as he finds himself against the corner, but will combo that into a grab to put Manon in the corner. Now just looking to get out of this burnout, but a well-timed DI will mean that Manon gets a free grab just then, and Manon will take game number 2 in this series.
Yeah, that was well-placed command grab right there, as we're already going into game 3. We're going back and forth here. Both players are finding their own openings, and it's going to take a lot to just pull out a win over the other.
Yeah, again, Kevin looking for these jumps, and so far, Avarice is certainly seems like they're picking up on this strategy, as they're finding some anti-airs of their own, really nailing Kevin out of the air, forcing him to play on the ground, but an OD Psycho Crusher will not find its way in, and now we see a combo the other direction, a command grab number 3 so far already in this game number 3, but yet another OD Psycho Crusher can't quite connect, and Kevin finding a whiff there, swinging at the air, will mean that Avarice finds round number 1 in game number 3 here.
Yeah, one thing that Kevin is struggling a little bit to do here is read those command grabs and trying to just kind of avoid them, as he's going to try to counter those command grabs, but just being overall annoying, which is what M. Bison is actually really good at in this game.
Yeah,
has a lot of options in kind of all areas of the game besides from far away.
Yeah, and Kevin gets splat there as the DI against the wall will connect. Another command grab, and look at the damage coming out from this Manon, and a parry will finish the job. One more grab to put Kevin in the ground will mean that Manon and Avarice take this series up 2-1 so far. But again, we will play all 5 of these out no matter what.
Yeah, and like I said, that command grab at the end there, it's kind of killing Kevin a little bit. He's going to have to try to maybe get a little more space, although be kind of careful at the same time because Manon has a really far-range command grab.
Yeah, and we see Kevin sort of dancing around that range, and that's, I mean, so much of what Street Fighter Neutral is just dancing back and forth, trying to avoid the other player's sort of burst range, as Kevin would always call it on the Smash Bros. Broadcast. But Kevin finding his way in there, not quite able to string much more off of it. 2 medallions in favor of Avarice, but not as many as we've seen in the past, as Kevin finds another hit in the air, but again, not quite able to find much more off of it, as now he does find a grab in the corner, and this is where Bison can be dangerous. Manon is able to get out of that one, but puts herself in burnout for now. 3 medallions will be the total for Avarice, but again, a bit of an uncomfortable place to be, right? In burnout, in the corner, can be such a scary place to be, especially against a character like Bison. That DI will not quite hit the wall, a little bit of extra space. A great anti-air there from Kevin, looking for another DI, but jumped over, and Avarice will put that one down. Kevin getting a little aggressive, looking for the read with the DI into the wall, unable to connect, and Avarice will take round 1 once again.
Yeah, one thing we did see from Kevin in that round was a lot of jumping.
Yeah.
A lot, especially compared to the first 2 games, and it was kind of working out there for a minute, right up until the end. So we're going to see if he tries to keep going for that, because Bison has a lot of options in the air, especially that stomp we saw a little earlier.
Yeah, great parry now means that this game will take a turn for Kevin, but unfortunately, another level 3 comes out from Avarice, and now Kevin finding himself in some trouble, could go down, and I think probably will. Yep, sure enough, that will finish the job, and Avarice will take this series with 3 wins, but we will play this last one out. Kevin now just looking to salvage this to be, at worst, a 3-2 loss, but now as we move into Game 5, Avarice absolutely in a rhythm right now, finding all the grabs she needs.
Yeah, Kevin, the kind of story of this entire set has been those command grabs, trying to avoid him, and he hasn't really been able to yet. But it looks like he's going to get a little aggressive. He's got Manon in the corner, trying to place that mine on, not able to just yet.
Yeah, we really haven't been able to see Kevin place any mines so far, and that's such a big part of this character, right? It's how just about every single one of Bison's combos ends. But so far, haven't seen a ton of that, as Kevin just looking for any time to strike, right? Finding his way in, only 2 medallions for Avarice so far, but coming out of burnout and finding the anti-air means that one more grab will put this Manon very low, but a level 1 will finish the round. Wow. Manon able to take that one, and once again taking the lead into round 2 as Kevin just looks to find any momentum of his own.
Yeah, he's having trouble. After that starting move, he's just kind of having trouble reading exactly what he should be doing, trying to get closer, but every time he does get closer, command grab comes through, and he's just not able to negate any of the damage.
Yeah, just struggling to really get away from it, as now he finds himself so low and struggling to put any damage out, but a great parry there from Avarice means that a perfect KO will be the end of this series. Avarice taking that one over. Way awesome Kevin, 4-1. But the start of many, many more, right? First of many, nothing to panic about. We did see Kevin take that first game in that series, so certainly things to be proud of if you are Way Awesome Kevin, but unfortunately will go down 4-1.
Yeah, really unfortunate, because a lot of those early sets were close, but it kind of looked like the Manon just adjusted really well. Yeah. And every time Kevin was able to get in, was only able to ever get a move or 2 off before essentially just being command grabbed and not really able to do anything beyond that.
Yeah, and you do wonder if that's some nerves creeping in, right? If he's just unable to sort of read the situation as well as he might normally. Hard to say, right? None of us are in Kevin's head. But all around, hard to complain, right? This is an incredibly strong Manon player. This is an incredibly strong scene as a whole. So winning your first game, but a drop in the first series is not too shabby.
Not too shabby, especially when you have games right after, like, you got to immediately throw that out of the back of your mind.
Absolutely.
And get ready. You have a Jamie incoming and what we believe to be is a JP.
Correct.
Which are 2 pretty good characters. I would say Jamie is definitely better than the JP. But let's take a look at some of the replays from that last series.
Right, yeah, we'll watch this back and we'll see, early on, right, we saw Kevin finding his way in, right, all of those mines that we said we didn't quite see later on. They were all in game number 1. But yeah, I mean, a lot more aggression and strong reads out of Kevin in that first series, but we will cut the replay short as Kevin is preparing to get into his second series here against Naked the JP.
Yeah, JP is a character that we saw a lot towards the start. The first 6 months of Street Fighter in the major tournaments, there were a lot of mirror matchups. But once people figured out kind of how to deal with him, he's kind of gone away. But it's not like he's an extremely weak character.
Right, yeah, and this is like the textbook spacey, right, of Street Fighter. This is the ultimate, I'm going to play as far away from you as possible and beat you down before you can get in.
Yeah, and even when they do get in, he does have some options. Now, they aren't as good as multiple other characters. As we see the mine go down and the combo takes out the JP as Kevin takes the first round of the first set.
Yeah, very well done to be able to find the stun onto the JP with no drive there against the wall. Great job there from Kevin, and again, early series lead for Kevin as we see the Psycho Crusher go right through projectiles as that move does. But Kevin unable to string that one into much more as now JP does what he does best, push you away and keep you there.
Which is exactly where M. Bison does not want to be. There are some other
Correct.
characters that can deal with that, but Bison needs to be mid to close range here as Kevin does already get in, uses the Psycho Crusher, gets blocked, but still keeping good spacing for him as JP goes for the level 1, hits it, doesn't do too much damage, but Bison not looking good as Kevin does get taken down to lose the second round.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of this Psycho Crusher move, right? That is one of Bison's best gap closers, and it goes through projectiles, like I said earlier. So that's a great read there to wait and find the heavy kick. But, oh, unfortunate timing. It goes right under the JP and is unable to string much more of that one, but jumps right over the level 1 will mean that Kevin gets another great combo, and into a level 3 means that this JP is probably going down. Sure enough, that will absolutely do the job. A perfect KO to take game number 1 in this second series for Way Awesome Kevin.
Kevin did a fantastic job most of that set, staying as close to JP as possible. And like you said before, JP wants you as far away as possible.
Right.
And because of things like that, here as we go into the second set of this match.
Right, yeah, these characters are such polar opposites, but they both have ways to answer the other's playstyle. But I would say that Bison has a slight advantage, as unfortunately, I'm going to break the fourth wall a little bit, most DLC characters do, of being able to get in close, right, deal with these projectiles, and we do see the bomb go off, but that will not quite be enough as JP is able to swap sides with Kevin and put him in the corner. But Kevin doing a great job of blocking until he unfortunately does get splat there by the DI. Not quite enough damage to take Kevin out as he now once again just looking for a way out, and sure enough he will find a grab and look to get more off of it. The drive rush won't quite be enough, and as the level 1 comes out once again from the JP, but
Huge jump into a whip grab is going to take down Kevin. That was a really good attempt there, but the backup from the JP is what won him that round.
yeah, very, very well executed there from Naked on this JP, but so far only one round in this second game as Kevin will look to win the next 2 and take this game for himself. But a lot of Street Fighter left to play as we now, like you said, move to round 2. Kevin looking for any way in, finding some counter hits, but he will get grabbed. Psycho Crusher comes out to close that gap right back up, and once again, Kevin finding himself, with an opportunity for a DI, but it will get put right back in his face. JP now looking to get all the damage he can. Looked like he might have dropped that combo a little bit as Kevin was able to block those last couple hits, but relatively even game here, or even round, excuse me, but Kevin finding a combo of his own into a level 3. Might finish the job again, not quite sure. Nope,
Not able
quite
to do
enough.
it just yet.
Now,
Kevin's going to try to keep that pressure going on in the corner. Gets the DI in, and now that's going to do it for this second round here as we're going into the final round of set number 2.
yeah, very, very well done. Good patience from Way Awesome Kevin there to not finish or not you know, get complacent. The right job was not finished, but something to keep an eye out now is that JP still has his level 3 and Kevin has no super meter, but a great combo to start this 4-way off from Kevin into a grab with a bomb planted. The bomb will go off, no punish there from Kevin, but another Psycho Crusher finds its way in, right? JP, I don't believe, has found a hit of his own yet in this 3rd round, and Kevin will find the low kick. Not quite able to finish the job. The level 1 will come out. Solid damage onto Kevin, but again, the OD Psycho Crusher right in your face does exactly what Bison wants to do, putting that JP away, closing the distance, closing the gap, standing right in your face and putting you in the ground. Kevin goes up 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful mix-ups there from Kevin. He started off by doing a lot of jumping, which the JP then started adjusting to. Then he just started doing everything in between, scissor kicks, Psycho Crushers, including that really annoying T-pose move right there. Here's we see a drive rush trying to keep JP in the corner. Gonna go throw, and you know, 9 out of 10 doctors say throw at least 5 times around, and you should get a good amount of damage out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Kevin just find like 4 or 5 grabs in a row on certain players, right? That can be so dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. But this is some high-level Street Fighter, right? These players can certainly get out of situations like that, as we now see both of these players finding themselves at about, I don't know, maybe 20% HP, but JP finds his window first, and a good amount of damage will finish the job for JP to once again take round number 1 and force Kevin to win 2 in a row if he wants to take away this game number 3.
Yeah, really good spacing there from JP. Able to kind of keep him away for most of the round here, as Kevin's just being really aggressive at the start of rounds, which is the right idea, but JP able to find some openings every now and then.
Right, yeah, part of the beauty of fighting games is really getting a read on your opponent, and if either player really starts to notice a pattern in the other player's play style, that can be detrimental to anybody. But we see 3 mines come out for Kevin as he's able to just layer them on top, make that a 4th. Kevin is in his rhythm right now, but here comes the JP damage. An OD Psycho Crusher will not connect, and the DI gets parried for the JP. Now Kevin looking for a little bit of aggression, but not quite able to find that, as now here comes a super. Well defended by Kevin for now, but wow,
Not
he
able
will
to
go
defend
down
it
there. What did we just watch, Moss? What was that?
That was essentially just, that's JP. That's every single JP. Like, there's no other way to describe it. He's the most un-Street Fighter character in the game. Essentially like you put a Mortal Kombat character inside Street Fighter. You don't really see many characters like this.
Yeah, so a tough break there for Kevin, but still up 2-1 in this series. Looking for a DI into the wall, and sure enough, he will find it. This will be a big combo for Kevin, ending with a mine, as they tend to do. Finding a grab to try to extend this, but unfortunately, he will get grabbed on his own and find himself in the corner. Now, the DI comes out the other direction, right into the wall, but JP unable to convert that into very much damage, and the grab will finish the job. Kevin, for the first time in a while, taking the first round of game number 4.
Yeah, generally, being in the corner in a fighting game, not the best thing, but JP, like we said, doesn't have a lot of close range options. So, almost in a way, M. Bison really isn't in the most like horrible position there in the corner, as we see drive impact go through. Combo started from Kevin, mine placed. This is huge start for this second round.
Yeah, I had the honor of talking to Kevin before this series, and one of the last things he said to me was, if my combos aren't ending in mines, something is wrong. So we know Kevin is sitting pretty when he's able to finish combos with a move like that, and especially when he's able to tack on a level 3 ultimate, scream yeah in the enemy's face and find a perfect KO to put game number 4 down, meaning Kevin takes this series win, but looks to win game number 5 to really tack on the extra stats.
Yeah, JP there just was unable to really do anything once Bison got in his face, which what we all believed was going to happen, just based off of the character's options here. But we do see a little bit of a juggle coming out there from the JP. Kevin stuck kind of far away from him. Got to be able to get in for now. Able to find a scissor kick. Drive impact does go through on the Bison, able to parry that, jumps in, and finds that spacing that he wants.
Yeah, we see a bit of a mix-up from Kevin, not going for as much aggression right at the start of the round as we've seen in previous rounds, but paying for it a little bit as the range was benefiting JP, but all of a sudden, right, Bison finds his way in and bad things happen for this JP. Sure enough, able to blink around though and get himself out of a bit of a tough situation, but a burnt out JP means that he cannot do a ton, and Kevin looking to just maximize as much damage while JP is stuck in this state, but looking for the read. The DI will not quite work out. Now Kevin in a little bit of trouble, and sure enough, JP finding that kill from all the way across the screen. Flashes of hope, right? A almost incredible read there from Kevin, but not quite enough, and JP takes round 1 there.
Yeah, and already at the start of this round, we're seeing a little bit of a different approach here from Kevin, immediately jumping in and able to find that corner, putting his combo together, gets the mine on. It's not a good start for the JP here.
No, yeah, this is not at all where you want to be. And I mean, what have we said all day? The corner is not where you want to be against M. Bison. And sure enough, a great read there from Kevin to pause, get patient, get comfortable, and find the DI into the wall. Will give him a perfect KO the other direction. Final round, 1-1. Kevin already with the series win, but looking to really tack it on now.
That head stomp move is just absolutely brutal. It's hard to read exactly like what we just saw right there. And Bison just has so many options when he jumps up in the air.
Yeah, and now we see the aggression the other direction, right? What does JP really thrive in? Keeping you under pressure no matter how far away from him you are. But sure enough, the OD Psycho Crusher finds its way in. But a parried level 1 will mean that Kevin gets a massive DI into the wall, a big combo ending with a mine as they always do, and one more DI will find the splat. JP is stunned and left at Kevin's mercy, but he dropped the combo. Able to find the grab, and it does not matter. The grab will finish the job. Kevin will take the series and shake that one off. 4-1. Way awesome, Kevin. Now, 1-1 on the day. Man, lots of records I'm finding myself. We've got rounds, we've got games, we've got series, and we've got matches. So try to keep yourself straight. I will do my best to keep them all clear. But Kevin now 1-1 on the day, moving into his third match coming up shortly.
Yeah, and what do 9 out of 10 doctors say? Grab at least 5 times around, and
You
that's
said
exactly what Kevin did at the end of that to secure the 4-1 there. And throughout the series, he never really lost control. I mean, he did lose that one set, but most of the time he was able to, whenever he got spaced out, he was able to eventually find himself back on the aggressive side, and he was mixing up with Psycho Crushers, and then he has the upside down T move. I don't know the name of it, but he jumps in the air and he just hits him with an, and any which way to try and mix up the JP so that he isn't able to keep him spaced out.
Gotcha. Well, we are receiving word that it was actually the last match of the day. So Kevin will walk away 1-1 on the day, and that will do it, right? A strong start for Kevin, right? We saw a tough game 1 with high moments, right? And then an immediate bounce back in the second series, able to take that series 4-1 over that JP. So exciting stuff, right? An exciting start to the season. We certainly hope you will all follow along as we have more Street Fighter matches coming up every week, every Monday. So be sure to drop us a follow on all of our socials and stay in touch, stay up to date with everything going on Shenandoah Esports. But that will do it for us. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Brennan, for being up here and walking me through some Street Fighter knowledge. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.